Is it legal for incoming President Trump to declare a state of emergency and then use our military to carry out a domestic mass deportation program? We're going to talk about posse comitatus in this video. Yesterday in my video, I said you're not supposed to use the military against citizens, which was the wrong choice of words because of course you're all like, well, but we're not talking about citizens. So let me apologize for that misstatement. And in this video, we're going to talk about posse comitatus. Okay, so it's a federal law enacted that limits the use of federal military forces in any domestic law enforcement. Okay, it says nothing about citizens. I misspoke yesterday. So its purpose is to maintain a clear boundary between military operations and civilian governance. Okay, so it prohibits armed forces from activities like arrests, searches, seizures, surveillance, or other direct enforcement of domestic laws unless explicitly authorized by Congress. There are some exceptions, and we'll talk about that. National Guard units are not subject to those restrictions. This act came about because after Reconstruction, so after the Civil War, our military was doing a lot of enforcement in the southern states. And this was a compromise to get the U.S. military out of the southern states. The military is allowed under this act to assist with non-law enforcement roles like logistics, disaster relief, infrastructure support, training. They're allowed to do that. What they're not allowed to do is engage directly with arrests, searches, and other law enforcement functions without specific congressional authorization. There are a few possible loopholes and exceptions. The Insurrection Act, which would allow the president to deploy federal troops for domestic law enforcement in cases of an insurrection, a rebellion. So we're talking mass riots that we can't get control of. That would be a reasonable exception that would allow the military to go in. Military support for emergencies like national emergencies, natural disasters, disaster relief, you can have the military come help with that, or border security. So if we were to use the military to help keep our borders secure, as opposed to being in our communities doing searches and arrests, that could be okay under posse comitatus.